What is up, fellow bench warmers? It's week 3 Judgment Day, and this is your daily fantasy quickie. It's week 3, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? How did you guys do on Judgment Day of week 3, Komish?
Yes,
How
guys.
did you do today?
Not too good. Not this week wasn't a good week. I was leading most of the week, but in the end, my opponents were able to reverse the scoreline. I lost a couple of matchups, 3-6, 2-6, but I was up 6-3 just last Saturday, and I lost around 2 steals, 1 block, a couple of percentage points. So there.
Lots of matchups were really close. I've seen some screenshots from group chats that I have, and even the Fantasy Benchwarmers leagues were quite close. Even in some of my leagues, there was a league where I thought it was over yesterday, and then the manager sat all his players, and that somehow contributed to me getting the win, because he sat 2 of his players, and that allowed me to catch up in some of the stats.
And I have to admit, you really have to review your matchups very well. I haven't been able to review my matchups. I've just been playing my players. And like in one of our leagues, if I knew that we were close in turnovers, I was up 7-2 or 8-1 in that league. I didn't realize that my 5 categories were really far already. And then he was able to catch up in 3. So we're down to turnovers. I could have rested my players and it could have been 6-3. Yeah. So I ended up 5-4. So because I didn't look at it. And then in our invitationals, I was leading the whole week. But Max, the team of Max, was able to add players. His team is weak. I have to say it. His team is not strong. He's the last place team in the invitationals, and he beat me 6-2. And because he targeted certain categories, and I have to admit, he got lucky because he won points with the lineup of Kuzma, Bruce Brown, Bamba. Well, I had Steph Curry, I had Harrison Barnes, I had Aaron Fox, but Curry only had 20 points. Yep. So I lost.
That's one thing frustrating for me about Curry. He's such a good scorer, but there are games wherein he just doesn't score as much and let the other players score. Like today, Jordan Poole played well again. So
Otto Porter
played well. So he deferred a bit, but it's kind of frustrating, especially for someone you picked first, right?
Yes, because when I was looking at, I only look on Sundays. That's my problem because I'm really busy right now. So I only look on Sundays, look closely. I was calculating and said, I'm not gonna lose here. I have Steph, so I think I think I'm
That's
okay.
always the case. My Steph teams are like that. Like,
yes,
if I'm down threes by just a few, like 4, 5, or 6 threes, I wouldn't worry as much because I have Steph.
And yeah, you have Steph, and my opponent had Zubac, Bamba, Royce O'Neal, Kuzma, Eubanks, and Bruce Brown. That was his team. And my team, I had Steph, I have Harrison Barnes, I have the Aaron Fox, I have forgot who else. I had Mobley. So I said, my players are star players in a sense, and his players are, basically role players. But all his players did well today. Bruce Brown had 12. I think Zubac had 14. O'Neal had,
O'Neal had 3 straight, I think 2 or 3 straight good games.
Yes, so you can never tell. But I could have still won that if Steph just did not score 20 points. If he just had 30, I lost by 8 points, I think. So that's big. And I lost rebounds also. I was up by almost 20 rebounds, and then he was able to catch up because Zubac had 11 rebounds, Bamba had, I think, 8, Bruce Brown had 7. Everybody. I mean,
and Royce O'Neal had what? I think he had 7 yesterday, and
yes. So
just, the ball didn't. I mean, it wasn't your week.
No, not only that. I want to discussed this with managers also, because like the other team that I was saying, that I was up 7-1, 7-2, and then they were able to catch up. And this particular team also in invitationals, I'm restricted with my moves because I don't have anybody I could drop. Not saying my team is strong, but
sometimes that's a disadvantage.
it's a problem.
Yeah,
I can't stream. I just have to wait for someone to get IL plus eligible for me to stream. I don't want to drop Evan Fournier or Josh Giddey, which is my worst player in that other league. And in this league, my worst player is basically Mitch Robinson and Devontae Graham. But these players in a 14-team league, I don't want to drop because they're kind of good. So I've been trying to go for 2-for-1 deals.
This will be a problem. Those types of rosters would be a problem if the matchups are not as good for you. Because there would be some matchups wherein you're gonna be really strong because it's the perfect matchup for you. But there will be matchups wherein you will really find it difficult, even if that's the last place team or the 13th place or the 12th place team. It is possible that matchup won't be as good for you as other matchups, and streaming would now be an advantage for you because you'd be able to focus on certain categories.
That's
there
true.
is a possibility that, let's say, if you're good in points and rebounds, but that 13th place team or that 14th place team is really good, is elite in points and rebounds, but he's not as good in other stats, right?
Yeah.
So he'll beat you on those two stats wherein you're good at, and then the rest would be just, would be a toss-up.
And let's say this other team I was saying, my lineup there, I can't drop anybody, but Evan Fournier has not been a top 150 guy this week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the season he is, but for this week he is not playing at that level. Gordon Hayward is not playing at that level.
But
and
you're
those
not going to drop those players, right?
And Josh Giddey actually is probably just around 120, 130 this week. So those three, if I just stream somebody, it's a 12-team league. Jeremy and I were part of this league. He's managing another team. 12-team leagues, there's a lot of possible values there, a lot of possible players that you can pick up who's hot. But I can't drop these players, so I don't know what to do at this point.
For example, Korkmaz would be there, who went hot the other game, right? I mean, if you stream him, you'll be able. That's a big deal. Like 7 threes the last game. That's a big plus for you. If Steph couldn't make 4, Steph could just make 4, and this streamer you had made 7, and we talked about Korkmaz and Niang, right? And if you won't be able to stream them, then you're a little bit on the disadvantage. Of course, the long term, probably you'll be still.
You'll be in the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's a different strategy. You'll probably drop some of those players. You'll probably drop already, right? Just to survive the playoffs.
But my suggestion is to really go for 2-for-1. I don't know if our managers there who are watching, but I'll be aggressive in trying for 2-for-1s. Even if you just give away, let's say, a Fournier, just give him away. Give him away, and then just get someone just a couple of ranks higher. It's okay. Just consolidate your roster to have a core of around maybe 10 good players, and then have 2 open ones, and then weekly, just one is a daily stream, one is a weekly stream. That's the best strategy in my opinion, because as Max, who's one of our guests last year, said, head-to-head is basically more games wins. Numbers game. So
it's a numbers game. If you stream well, even if your last or 2 last players are not as good, you can just stream their spots and you can still win them. I had a similar experience this week, wherein I couldn't put up Kyle Lowry, who had his best game yesterday, right? Because there was no one to drop, and he was in my IL, and I was worried because he wasn't really playing very well before yesterday, and that move alone, me not putting up Kyle Lowry, that cost me the week. I was leading 6-3 pretty much the whole week, and I lost by around 9 rebounds, and Kyle Lowry had 12, right? I could have won that. And then the threes, Kyle Lowry, I think, had 3. I lost by, I think, just a couple. So those small stuff, I could have won. Of course, another factor there was that Anthony Davis did not play well, did not play at all yesterday. So that contributed.
Had an
I mean, if
LBM.
only I knew, I could have just switched Kyle Lowry for Anthony Davis. I was thinking about that, but of course, Anthony Davis was my first round pick. I wouldn't sit him even if he was game time decision. Right?
That's true. That's true.
So these things you'll probably learn. It's still early, third week. You'll learn as you go. But yeah, it's a nice discussion about streaming and how valuable it can be, especially in a shallow league, right? Yeah. So let's move on. Head on to the quickie injury updates. The biggest one, I guess, is LeBron James. Possibly more weeks than expected, more time. He'll miss more time than expected. The report was, I think, 4 to 8 weeks.
That's not official report from the Lakers. That's a report from a previous trainer of the Lakers who's been fired actually by the Lakers. So, but he has experience with being a trainer, being the one taking care of the players. He knows the injuries very well. So he said that this kind of injuries, depending on how severe it is, even if the Lakers said it was a minor strain, he said minor strains of injuries like this takes 4 weeks. That's what he said. So it can be something that he knows injuries, but he doesn't know this particular injury because he just read about it. Unless he still talks to the players. So I think it's just a conjecture at this point. But we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared, I guess, for more than a week. I think it's possible that it's going to be more than a week. 2 months might be too much.
Yeah,
might be too long. Maybe more than a week, but not 2 months.
And LeBron just came off ankle injury, so I mean he's not the youngest of players. So
that's true. He's not Wolverine anymore.
And this is the reason why the Lakers got Russell Westbrook. That's one of the reasons why they got another superstar. Because last year when they lost LeBron, everything went, or Anthony Davis, everything just went downhill. So I think he'll probably take a little more time, be more patient with this. If of course, assuming the Lakers win.
But the Lakers are 5-5, and Westbrook has been up and down, on and off, and has been terrible in some. I mean, not the stats. There are games where he has good stats, but when you watch the games, you know that he's
lost.
Winning. He's not playing winning basketball. He's playing Russell Westbrook basketball. So I don't know. Maybe it will force LeBron to actually, try to come back faster. Because if it's 2 months, by the time he comes back, I don't know if the Lakers will still be in playoff contention at that point.
Another player who went down today, Colin Sexton, who was playing poorly already, and this is going to be tougher because his replacement played the game of his life. So they might, be more cautious with him.
We have not heard about what the actual injury is. So we wait, but I think it's knee. So anytime it's a knee injury, even if it's not ACL or MCL, even if it's just a sprained knee or whatever, a bang knee or a knee contusion, that's not good. We expect him to be out for a while, maybe a week, maybe a couple of games, and that's not good. This following Michael Porter Jr.'s storyline. Yeah. I don't know what to do with these guys. They're ready. Makes me very worried.
In fairness to Colin Sexton, he's not as drafted as high.
But
so
still,
losing him for a few weeks, it hurts, but it doesn't hurt as bad.
Makes me worried for Lillard. He might be next. No, I
don't have Lillard, but I hope
these things come in threes. So I don't know, but MPJ, also a report about MPJ. He's not practicing. That's the only thing that they said. Actually, Denver canceled their practice altogether but he's not. He was, if they did not cancel the practice, he was not also gonna practice. They're gonna take scans of his back. So late at night, maybe early hours of the morning, we'll probably get some report with MPJ.
Yeah.
So, but they said doesn't look that bad. That's what the initial findings said. He must be out for a week, something like that. So let's hope it's just that. But Sexton, if this is anything 3 to 4 weeks or more, if you don't have an IL, I'll be fine dropping him. If you don't have an IL and it's gonna take longer than maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a major injury, I think he can be dropped.
With two players. Well, aside from Sexton, there are a couple of players who are not injured, but are being load managed to prevent the injuries. And I'm talking about Kemba Walker and Mike Conley. We kind of expected this about Mike Conley.
I was hoping last year was a 1 year thing, because last year was the year he came back from injury. So I was hoping it's like Durant. Durant this year has been playing back-to-backs. So, but I guess I didn't take into consideration the age of Mike Conley. So it looks like he's not going to play like last year, back-to-backs. That's,
well, at least he's playing better.
I mean,
unlike Kemba, if you own Kemba, he's not playing better. He's not playing really well, and then he's going to be load managed. That's going to be frustrating for owners.
That means
these two guys in the draft were pretty much close, right? I mean, if you needed a point guard late in the draft, you probably had to weigh. I had a time wherein I really had to weigh whether it's going to be Mike Conley or Kemba that I'm going to pick up, right? Just so happened someone picked Mike Conley ahead before I was picking. But they're close. They're close.
But the difference between them is Conley, I think they're really just being cautious. I'm not sure they're being cautious with Kemba. I feel Kemba is feeling some soreness in his knee because he's not been playing well also. And Tim Thibodeau said that he's not sure to play tomorrow either. Yeah. I mean, he didn't want to commit to say that, Kemba just rested today, tomorrow he's going to play, which is what he did. So it could be really something, not an injury, but he's dealing with, pain or soreness. So that is worrisome, because that might be the reason for his poor showing. And again,
that would also mean that he probably won't just be sitting back to back. So I mean, it's an unpredictable situation with Kemba.
And he's not IL possible, IL eligible, IL plus eligible. So I hope Yahoo changes this. Maybe if there's a back-to-back, they put some probable tag or something. So
but it's so hard to predict as well which part of the back-to-back they're gonna sit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for Mike Conley, for example, is it the first half of the back-to-back or the latter half of the back-to-back? For both of these players, it's worth noting that Mike Conley will be sitting back-to-back. Kemba could have an injury or not really an injury, but could be sore a bit and could miss some time as well. Not too long, hopefully. One player who returned, Pascal Siakam, returned, and he looked good. I mean, he scored 15?
15, 15. I think he had a 3-pointer, 2 steals, 1 block, 25 minutes. So
not bad.
The minutes was much more than I expected. I mean, it's still minutes restricted, but still 25 is not bad already. I was thinking 15. So 25 is not bad.
Well, it's classic Nick Nurse, right? So like we said, we expected Precious Achiuwa was delegated to the bench role. So they started really small with Siakam, Barnes, OG, Trent, and Fred VanVleet. And looks like they're gonna stick with this.
I think this is gonna be the starting 5. The way I look at it, they cannot not play Scotty Barnes. He's been playing so well.
Yep.
So
and I think this is their best 5.
This is their best 5 right now. But I don't think when they at the start of the season, this was what they were expecting.
Yeah.
I think they were expecting to start probably Kem Birch or Achiuwa together with Siakam and put Scotty Barnes as the first guy off the bench. But he was playing so well that they had no choice. So Achiuwa had 27 minutes today, but Kem Birch didn't
Did
play.
not play. Yeah.
So when Birch comes in, I don't think Achua and then Pascal Siakam's minutes will get higher if he doesn't have minutes restriction. So I don't think Achua will get as much minutes. So I don't think he's a hold. Scotty Barnes got 30 minutes, but only took 7 attempts.
Yeah.
So, and again, 25 minutes only for Siakam. So when Siakam gets 35 minutes, I don't know how many more minutes Barnes will get. Barnes is good. Barnes is super good. But I guess
the usage.
and
yeah. And of course, he's a rookie. But the good thing about Barnes is that, he's not only a scoring guy. He can, pass, he can rebound. So at least there could be some stats there that he can contribute. But maybe the bigger question is Boucher. We talked about him, but since it's Toronto, this is pretty much the full lineup that we're talking about. I dropped my Boucher already.
Yeah, go. I think that's at this point. If Shaq comes back, I don't know where he'll find his minutes.
So I think it's really worth noting that he could be.
Who did you pick up? Who did you pick up for Boucher? Because we always say that.
No, because I had to bring up Siakam.
Oh, okay.
I was, I was thinking if I should just trade Boucher, someone might want him. It was in our league, but in the end, I just wanted to. Oh yeah, I think I picked up another player because I had another player injured. I think I picked up Royce. Royce O'Neal. Because he was playing well, and we talked about it yesterday that the Utah had a pretty good schedule this week. So yeah, hopefully that helps. All right, so that's the return of Siakam. Worry players. We talked about Jalen Suggs a lot here, and Jalen Suggs has been dropped in a lot of leagues. I've seen him being dropped in a lot of 14-team leagues. He was even dropped in our invitationals, like we were talking about during the Q&A with Patrick, and he was picked up by Patrick, and I think he was traded, right? So
yes.
So Jalen Green, on the other hand, is not playing well, but no one's dropping their Jalen Green, obviously.
I think you can hold on to Green more than Suggs. If you look at their stats, they're very similar. You would think that Suggs has more steals, but it's not the case. They both have 0.8 steals a game. Yeah. You would think that they're shooting terribly. Yeah, that's true. They're shooting terribly. But Jalen Green is shooting 38, 39. Suggs is shooting 33. So that's 6%. That's still not bad. He's scoring more. He has more threes. So, and it seems like he just has more usage. Jalen Green over Suggs. Suggs is unlucky because the rest of the team is very hot beside him.
It's very good. The rest of the team with him in the starting lineup, he's still starting, right? Suggs is still starting.
Yeah, he's still starting. But today, 6 points.
He's the weakest link there in the
who would have thought
lineup, right?
Who would have thought?
Like I said, we're gonna talk about Cole Anthony later in our feel good. But yeah, would have thought, right, that Suggs would probably be the worst there. No one well, it was really a matter between Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs at that point. Anyway, before we go to Cole Anthony, Derek White has been up and down, I guess. He's had this type of runs before, so I'm not really as worried with Derek White. He's still a hold there.
Yeah. Derek White's a hold. But he had a great start to the season, and we're saying maybe he finally figured it out because he's a guy who's really the potential, the upside of White in fantasy. Yeah, we're not talking about real life, but in fantasy, he's really tantalizing because of the steals, the blocks. His blocks for a point guard is really good, and then he can shoot 3-pointers also. So it's perfect combination. But every year he just seems to either get injured, or play terribly. So we were very, very encouraged by the start. So this is very disappointing because it seems like he's still, the Derek White that we know. Everybody knows the Derek White that we know. But like today, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, still there. He didn't have a 3 because he's 0 out of 10. But well, at least he helped you somehow.
Well, in fairness, I don't think anyone from San Antonio played well. Even their best player, DeJounte Murray, didn't play really well. I mean, he had the nice, good counting numbers. I think he had 8 rebounds and 9 assists, but or the other way around. But the scoring wasn't there. The field goal was pretty bad. So I think overall, just the team is just not as good.
Yeah, but Derek White, this is good. You could maybe target him because, as I said, in a right build, he's gonna help you. He's gonna help you.
Yep.
If let's say if you have Westbrook, the field goals are already bad. The KPJs that we talked about, actually, Derek White is the best among all of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The this inefficient guards lineup thing. Derek White's the best
Yeah, I
among
mean,
them.
among all those, like
Yeah.
if you have KPJ,
Well, you can't get Derek White for KPJ, but somebody else. Maybe
you
well, I
can't
don't.
get Derek White for KPJ. Who do you think would not want that deal? Is it the KPJ owner or Derek White owner?
The Derek White owner, for
Right.
sure. I mean, I've talked to a manager who was talking to me about KPJ, and he said every time he just brings out a deal with KPJ, the opposing manager would tell him, we can make a deal, but don't include KPJ. So everybody
Like I
doesn't like
said,
KPJ.
it's gonna be a
So
fun. It's gonna be a fun week if you have KPJ as your opponent because
yeah,
of the
and
turnovers.
he helped me not get 0-9 in the Champions League because Charles owns him and he was able to single-handedly lose Charles turnovers and field goal.
Yeah.
So gave me at least two categories. But it's really hard. It's really hard to hold KPJ. Derek White, I think a guy is so hot like Jordan Poole. Maybe if you try to offer Poole for Derek White, I guess the White owner might say, okay, I need threes, I need scoring. I'll go with that. A deal like that's a deal I would do.
Yeah.
If you need more of the steals and the blocks.
Yeah.
I think.
Another worry player is Mason Plumlee. He has been losing some. Is he losing some minutes? I watched the game. I couldn't really see Mason Plumlee as much. He's just not there anymore. And that's without PJ Washington. So
Yeah.
and there are a lot of managers that are really trying to trade or sell their Mason Plumlees.
Don't try. Don't bother. I have Mason Plumlee myself in one of our leagues, in a high school league. I've tried at first, but when I just mentioned the name, I have seen the KPJ effect. The opposing manager will say, pass. Don't like Plumlee. I like the other one, but don't add Plumlee. So I had deals already that was okay, and I just said, but if you get this player, I my requirement is to get Plumlee also. And they said, I'll pass. So even if I added a kind of attractive partner to the deal, they don't like Plumlee. And the question is he losing minutes? Yeah, he's been losing minutes basically from game number 3. He's been only playing 20 minutes, 21 minutes. In
The counting
fairness,
stats are not as good anymore, though.
actually, in fairness, he's averaging 1.3 blocks, 1.1 steal. So there's the 5 to 6 rebounds. No, the assist is not there anymore. It's just a 29% free throw shooting. I mean, yeah, he only takes 2 or 3 a game. But if he's 1 out of 3 for 4 games or 3 games, that's around 3 out of 12. That's big.
Yep.
That's big also. So it doesn't seem a lot if you just say it's 2 attempts a game, 3 attempts a game.
So is Mason probably a drop now?
I think so. In 12-team league, is a drop. In 14, if you drop him, I'm sure the punt free throw teams will pick him up. So maybe look at your team. If your team is a punt free throw, don't drop him. But if your team is not, is killing you, you have to offer him to the punt free throw team, right? I mean,
or
it's the only option.
Or just pick one of these buy players. I mean, I've seen some of these players, lying around the waiver, the free agent pool. Terrence Mann, not as much Terrence Mann in that free agent pool, but
there's still some.
I've seen a few. Yeah, I think I've seen a few that wherein he was dropped. So Terrence Mann played another great game today. He was aggressive. He was, he has the potential to be that guy who can be your do it all.
That's true. And remember, they have a good schedule. That's why I put Mann, I put Batum, I put Kennard, the 3 of them. And I think Batum is still the best bet there. He's only owned in 43% of leagues. So that's your first option. Look at Batum. But Man, like Jeremy said, he has been playing 30 minutes or more the past 3-4 games. His minutes has been getting higher and higher.
The only reason why I say he has that potential because of the minutes. I mean, he is the youngest among all those players, one of the youngest in that group. Even if you compare Kennard to him, he's the youngest. He's younger, right? So the chances of him getting more playing time, like Batu played really well in the first half today, even in the third quarter, I think. But they sat him down for the rest of the fourth, or the minutes were just given to Kennard and Man. Although Man and Kennard played well in the second half. So those are the pros and cons when you pick up a player like Nick Batum versus a player like Terrence Mann.
But we also have to talk about Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka came back
Serge Ibaka returned. He played 8 minutes.
And a lot of managers are asking, is he? I'm picking him up. I'm dropping Tad Young. I'm dropping this or dropping that. Those are low-end players. So I don't think Tad Young or the other players that were mentioned, like George Niang or Shake Milton, they're not long-term players anyway. So it's okay. But for me, you're adding Ibaka, who I think is not a long-term player also. In my opinion, I don't know. I might be wrong. But I don't see him as good as Ibaka before.
And the timing is not right. I mean,
that's true.
He played 8 minutes. He didn't play as much last year. Did he play last year?
He played last year. Oh, did he? I'm not too sure. Maybe
we couldn't even remember the last time he played, and he's not the youngest of players. They'll load manage him for sure.
And they're playing Ibaka, Zubac, and Hartenstein together right now. So there's 3 centers now in Clippers. So they won't play him 30 minutes, 25 minutes. I doubt that.
Yep.
So if it's Klay Thompson and say, I pick a play, I drop George Niang because Klay came back. Even if Klay only played 8 minutes today or didn't look good, I'll be okay with that. But Ibaka, I think after a week or two, you'll probably be dropping him also.
Yeah, because you're probably losing your matchups already. Because that's
you're wasting the 2 weeks of Milton and Young, who has value, or Tad Young, who has value right now.
Yeah. So Terrence Mann, Nick Batum, Otto Porter played another good game today.
But the guy I'm interested
in
Golden State is Gary Payton. Actually, I didn't put that in my quickie, but I think Gary Payton is 14-team ad already. He's a 14-team ad just for the steals, and he's getting more minutes now than Damian Lee. So we're watching how the rotation is shaping up.
And surprisingly, Golden State is the top-ranked defensive team in the league.
Yes, that's true.
And that means that they could, focus more on and they're winning. They could focus more on the defensive guys over the scoring guys because they have a couple of players who could score. Drew Eubanks, another short-term ad for Jakob Poeltl.
This guy killed me this week. I hate it. He's blocked 7 shots since Poeltl went down. There's value in that, as you can see. I'm the living proof of that. I was destroyed he was able to catch up in blocks basically from Eubanks, but today he had 14 and 11 in only 20 minutes. So that will not happen again. I doubt that will happen again. But still, I think the rebounds and the blocks, those are solid. Those will be solid for him.
But if you really need a longer term player, Hassan Whiteside could be your guy. I mean, I don't think he should be dropped, especially in a 14-team league. Even in a 12-team league, I think he is rosterable. I mean, you probably wouldn't get a player who plays 20 minutes and could give you 9-10 rebounds a game and 2-3 blocks a game. There's not much there in the waiver that can give you consistently those numbers in 20 minutes or less.
I guess the question is, would you prefer him to Andre Drummond? That's the question right now, because both of them are basically similar, right? Handcuff, 16, 17 minutes a game. Who do you want more?
I think Andre Drummond is more valuable in the sense that the chances of Embiid not playing some games are higher.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
I also don't think if Gobert goes down for a short-term injury, for example, the workload of Whiteside would be as high. I just feel like he's still that 20 to 22 minute guy, not that 25 to 30 minute guy that could replace Gobert. But in 22 minutes or at the most 25 minutes, he'll do a lot.
I'd prefer actually Whiteside. Similar to you, I'd prefer Whiteside. Maybe because the free throw is better this year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how reliable that is, but if you own Whiteside, the very least right now, he's not hurting you anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
he's not negative. Maybe 0 in 3-pointers and assists, but no negative value.
But you
Whereas
probably
Drummond,
don't get him for those.
Yeah, but Drummond has negative value. He has higher turnovers actually. So that's my reasoning. But I'm also agreeing with you though that the possibility of Embiid getting a catastrophic injury is higher.
Let's not say catastrophic.
Long term.
That might get managers worried, but yeah. We all know Embiid's in history.
Remember the other day you told me is Gobert out and he was.
Yeah, he was. There was an O in Gobert, and
that was a bug. I think whoever they made a mistake, and it was not really, he was not really injured, but a lot of managers panicked, so they picked up Whiteside. So Whiteside's usage ownership went up because of that. I hope those people who picked him up didn't drop him after though.
Yeah,
because
I picked up Whiteside, never really dropped him though. Sometimes it entertains my idea because I just pick him up as a streamer, but I just realized, he could be an important part of my team. Denny Avdija, we talked about Denny Avdija. Washington coach talked about Denny Avdija.
He did?
He did, about his defense, because they've been attacking him on defense, but they're based from the notes, he players attacking him are shooting 5% less field goal percentage, and he is averaging, I think, 1.5 blocks.
Yeah, he's averaging more than a block a game, which is, I don't know if it's a fluke, but that's good. Actually, I have another name that I'm considering with Denny is Cedi Osman, who played very poorly today. But if Sexton is gonna be out for a while, Osman still got 30-something minutes. That's what I mean. That's what I'm encouraged by. If he gets, Sexton will be out, I'm sure he's gonna play that not many minutes. Then he's also viable. But if you're asking me Avdija or Osman, I would have preferred Avdija by a mile. I mean, this guy's like a Franz Wagner, a poorer version of Franz Wagner, all around guy. But the usage is not there. But the minutes at least is there. I mean, for 16, 18 team, if you have an 18-team league, should not be available
I think Avdija is more of a specialist at this point.
Yeah, specialist.
The usage won't be there, but if you need certain stats, like right now, we said that he's averaging more than a block a game. That could do. He can rebound. I mean, that's another thing. But
he can pass.
He can pass. If you expect him to score for you, he's probably not your guy. You might be better off with Osman than Avdija, right? So yeah, those are the considerations when picking up these players. Let's talk about feel-good players, because there are a few that I really want to talk about. Cole Anthony has been really hot. He's been really good. And I was telling Eric about this a while ago. We're in one of my leagues before the start of the season. There was a trade, Kyrie Irving for Cole Anthony, and we thought it was a very absurd trade. Like, we knew that the manager of Kyrie just wanted to dispose him and would be willing to get anything just to get rid of Kyrie. Okay. Unfortunately, of course, I mean, it was before the season, so no games have been played, only some preseason games, which is not really a good gauge. But I told Eric that looking at it now, that's so lopsided because Cole Anthony has been playing it's been top 30 right now.
Top 30. Cole
And the
Anthony is top
risk
30.
of Kyrie, not playing at all is really high.
That's true. Who would have thought? If you really knew that Cole Anthony was gonna do this, then you're good. Because as I said in my post, I think more than Miles Bridges, Cole Anthony is a surprise of the season. Miles Bridges last year showed signs already, and he was already a top 100 player.
And he is not a sophomore. I mean, Cole Anthony is a sophomore, right? Miles Bridges has always had that potential.
That's
I
true.
think a couple of years ago, many felt that it's Miles Bridges' turn, but he disappointed. That's why he went back in terms of, being drafted and all. And then last year, he wasn't as good until later in the season, when LaMelo started, right?
Yeah. But overall, Miles already showed his promise last year. So if you say, like Jeremy said, he was high on him because of how he played last year, I could see that. But Cole Anthony, it's out of nowhere. I mean, for one, his efficiency this year, the defensive stats, the shooting, the 3-point shooting has been very, very good. And he's a funny guy, as you can see from the interview.
He's got great personality. He's a lovable person.
I did
lovable
say
player
in the preview that I don't think the Magic should be playing. If the Magic will be playing Cole Anthony over Jalen Suggs, they'll be stupid. I mean, they that's wrong. We were making fun of it, but it really looks like Cole is a better player at this point than Suggs.
Yep. And this is the classic example of what we're talking about, how sophomores get a big... the game they played during the rookie season is, a lot of gap there when it comes to their development. Just because they have 1 year in. And I think this is what's happening with Jalen Suggs and Cole Anthony.
Jalen Green. Yeah.
Even Jalen Green, right? The rookies, the early draft pick rookies.
You know what will happen? They will play so bad right now. Next year, they will be forgotten. They'll be ranked so low, and then they'll explode.
Yeah,
that's what. So Jalen Suggs next year could be something special.
Yeah,
because
let's see. It's still too early. Maybe later in the season he'll pick it up,
or later in the season.
But again, Cole Anthony, I don't expect him to continue shooting that well. But I think the counting numbers would be there.
The counting numbers, yes. The people have been asking about Markel Fultz, but like Okiki came back, and what did he do? Nothing. I mean,
I'm on the verge of dropping my Okikis.
I think Okiki can be dropped right now. Franz Wagner, where people were afraid, when Okiki comes back, you're gonna drop Wagner anyway. But how many games in? Wagner is still in your rosters because he's been playing better than Okiki. So I think we're not sure that Cole will be worse than Fultz. He could possibly be better than Fultz right now.
Yep.
So
hold on to Cole Anthony. The reason why I couldn't make a trade in invitationals because I couldn't find the right player to get Cole Anthony, because he was one of the guards that I just wanted a low end guard, and he was one of those that I was trying to target, but it was too late. Now I can't trade him for scraps.
No, you can't do that right now.
The Devin Booker for Cole Anthony seems like the fairest deal if the manager would want to trade. I mean, that seems like a too high to ask, but maybe that's what it takes to get
if the Devin Booker manager agrees to that trade. You should do that, but I think
I have Devin Booker.
I know. If this is the opposite, I will do that trade. But I think Cole Anthony will fall down. It will not be this good. It will not be this good. Maybe
it
around.
It will not. But again, it will
70.
not be to a point where he is droppable. I don't think he will be dropped.
No.
Anymore. So
similar to Duarte. I mean, it's gonna like Ja Morant. I mean, Ja was so out of this world. It was obviously not sustainable. But even if Ja fell right now, the game is falling down. He's still, in the level that is better than last year.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed because if you picked him 4th round, 5th round, it's okay. It's not too far off from
It's just that the timing, if you time it properly, when it's at their peak of their value, and then you flip it at the peak of their value, that's when you can get, super teams eventually.
Yeah.
So you try.
Ricky Rubio is another player peaking right now. Well, not really peaking, but he was on a slump until today.
Yeah.
Today he was really hot. Of course, obviously he won't be as hot as this, but with the Sexton injury, he'll be a really good player to that you should be rostering, that you should have. Or if you have him right now, you should be happy with that.
Yeah, you should be happy with that. I think he'll get into the top 120 in this stretch that Sexton will be out. I think the steals, the assists will be there. The scoring and the threes, I think will come and go.
Yeah.
I think will come and go.
Yep.
This year, I think he's gonna be at the same level as TJ McConnell. I feel like both
probably
of them.
better.
Probably, yeah, but not by much. Not by much.
Yeah. And maybe the last player we want to talk about is Jason Tate. Feel good. He's been having, a few good games.
No Gordon though today. No Daniel House. So Tate gets all the small forward minutes.
Yeah, but he's been not bad. I mean, he's been rebounding. What we expected from him, some rebounding, some scoring.
Yes, rebounding, scoring. The steals not there yet. Last year he was good in steals, so that's what I'm looking at. I hope the steals come back, because if the steals come back, then that's gonna be big for him. But for sure, these Houston guys, watch out for them. The second half of the
AJ
season.
Martin is another player you should watch out for. He's been getting a few minutes here and there, but not right now. I mean, just put him in your watch list. Just players you have to remember.
Still Sengun for me, guys. I've been saying this from the start of the season until now. If I can inject it, I will do it. Sengun's gonna be talked about when the season is over. That you'll say
you know what's more good news for Sengun owners? Christian Wood is not happy.
Yes,
how he is being used. So
yes, we didn't talk about that.
I just remembered that Christian, he had 4 points today after playing really well.
Did you hear the story?
I think I don't know the exact story, but I just heard that he wasn't happy he wanted more usage.
He wasn't happy after the Denver game.
Mm-hmm.
Something
he didn't
like
shoot the ball today.
Something like Jokic can't do anything about him, or something like that. Why didn't they give him something to that effect? And today he only took 5 attempts.
Yep.
He only took 5. Remember Kobe? What Kobe did? It seems like it's the same style, but Christian, you're not as good as Kobe.
Not on the same level though. Not on the same greatness level, I guess. So
even in the finger of Kobe Bryant. My goodness.
So yeah, that's it. You watch out for Sengun, and that story should be a developing story for us fantasy managers to watch out for. That Houston Christian Wood story is probably something that we should really watch out for. All right, that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. Week 4 starts tomorrow. And good luck, guys. It's still a little early, but like I said, at this point, you should have a good idea already on how good or what adjustments or tweaking do you need to get to another level when it comes to your fantasy teams. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.